Welcome back, y'all, and today we're getting to know the Serpae Tetra. The Serpae Tetra, also known as the blood tetra or red minor tetra, is a fish native to the Amazon River basins. These vibrant, brightly colored fish tend to be very hardy and great for beginners and experienced fish keepers alike. Though one thing you will want to keep in mind if you do get these fish is that they tend to be rather spastic, twitchy swimmers. Unlike many other species of fish, which typically have a nice, smooth, long-distance swimming style, these guys tend to swim for very short bursts, and there may not be any rhyme or reason of what direction they go in. This behavior is very common and very normal when it comes to serpes, but it can be rather alarming to people new to the hobby. Now, when it comes to tank setup, of course, tetras always do best in a well-established aquarium, so you'll want to make sure that your tank is fully cycled and that the water parameters are stable before adding your fish into the tank. Now, the minimum recommended tank size for the Serpae Tetras is gonna be 10 gallons. However, I personally would recommend at least 20 gallons, as these guys tend to do much better in larger groups of at least 15 rather than the recommended grouping of a minimum of 5. As for water parameters, they do best in soft, neutral to slightly acidic waters with a pH of between 6 and 7.5 and temperatures between 72 and 79. So you may or may not need a heater for them. Serpae tetras, of course, like many other of the tetra species, do best and will really thrive in a naturalistic black water tank. A well-planted tank along with some driftwood and a sandier, darker substrate will help to mimic their natural environment. Now, Serpae tetras are a schooling fish, so the bare minimum recommended is to get at least 5. However, there is a lot less aggression typically if you keep them in groups of 15 or larger, which is why I recommend getting at least a 20-gallon rather than a 10-gallon for these guys. Serpae tetras are known for being aggressive fin nippers, especially when they're establishing a pecking order. So you'll want to keep this in mind if you're adding them to a community tank, and you'll want to avoid any fish with long, delicate flowing fins. A few examples of fish that Serpae tetras typically do get along with would be other tetras of similar size, corydoras, plecos, platies, and swordtails. Now, when it comes to diet, Serpae tetras are not at all picky eaters. They will eat just about anything that you put in the tank. That being said, these fish do best on a diet consisting of a high-quality pellet food along with frozen or live foods such as bloodworms, tubifex worms, and brine shrimp. Now, when it comes to breeding, Serpae tetras are an egg-scattering species and they are relatively easy to breed. But as they are known to eat their eggs, you will probably want to set up a separate aquarium for breeding purposes. For this breeding tank, you'll want to set up a small, very dimly lit aquarium with a dark substrate, very low flow filtration, and provide either a spawning mop or plants such as Java moss. The water in this tank should be kept at warmer temperatures of between 78 and 80 degrees, so you will probably need a heater for this. When you are choosing your mating fish, it's easiest to tell the difference between male and female when they are ready to spawn. Males are much more brightly colored than their female counterparts. Females are also typically larger with a rounder body, while males tend to be more slender, and the dorsal fin on males is typically very pure black, while females' dorsal fins will be more pale in color. Now, to start conditioning your spawning pair, you'll want to feed them a variety of different foods, high in protein, preferably frozen or live foods. And as, once again, these fish are known to eat their eggs, once they have laid their eggs, you'll want to remove the pair from the tank. Now, keep in mind, these eggs are going to be very sensitive to light, so I would go ahead and just turn off any aquarium lights that you might have on that breeding tank. Eggs typically hatch within 1 to 2 days, and fry can be fed fry food or baby brine shrimp once they are free swimming. Anyway, guys, that's all I really have for y'all today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!